All right, happy Sunday night. Before we get to the forecast, just want to make sure my audio is working A-OK. Hope everyone's having a great weekend, and it sounds like it is working just fine. If you have any questions about the weather for this week or, radar, specifically where you're at, across the region, across the state, feel free to comment down below. We'll be chatting about the weather, breaking things down for the next 10 to 20 minutes. So again, if you have questions, feel free to comment down below and leave them in the comment description, specifically on Facebook. That's where I'm at. So if you have any questions on there, we'll be live streaming for the next 10 to 20 minutes here in the San Antonio area. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Outside right now, it's mostly cloudy, even some sunshine peeking through. I went to dinner and saw a good amount of sunshine breaking through the clouds. So it's a nice end to our weekend, nice end to the day, as we saw a pretty good amount of rainfall, just waves of light to moderate rain all day long, starting this morning and even earlier yesterday as well. But out there right now, it's mostly dry with most of the rain forming out to the south and east towards Live Oak County, down 281, and more importantly, down I-37. We're near Three Rivers, George West, Tilden, Beeville is where they're experiencing and observing more of the downpour threats. But even at that, it's mostly light activity with a rumble of thunder near Three Rivers, south of San Antonio. Even some scattered activity out near Cuero towards I-10, Gonzales, Houston, Victoria. But zooming in, we saw light downpour around the 5:30 hour. And then, of course, scattered showers all morning long. If you were out early this morning, even some thunder and lightning, mostly south of San Antonio. We didn't see anything that, became severe. However, there were a few good embedded downpours in some pockets around the San Antonio metro from earlier this morning. But notice it is quiet. There's some light rain out near Seguin, Gonzales, Floresville. And more importantly, over the next couple hours, what we'll be watching, especially if you're in our western counties near Webb County, Maverick County, Del Rio, Valverde County, Frio County, is I'm going to do this real time and zoom in. We're watching a few storms that are trying to really form in northern Mexico and crossing over the border near Eagle Pass and Del Rio. Now remember, with the heating of the day and this kind of pattern in place, every afternoon, every evening, it's going to have at least some storms develop in this region. As a matter of fact, for tomorrow night and likely Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and every single evening going forward, because of daytime heat, this particular pattern in place, a lot of storms that will develop out in northern Mexico will slowly move farther east, just like tonight. So heads up for Del Rio, Eagle Pass, anywhere near Crystal City, maybe Uvalde, Asherton, Brackettville, Camp Wood, anywhere in our western counties west of San Antonio and of the city in our viewing area. That's where we're expecting more of the threat for some pretty good downpours, maybe some lightning and some thunder. In this particular cell, while I do think it'll weaken a lot over the next hour to 2 hours as it approaches, Maverick County and Crystal City, La Pryor, Del Rio, a lot of it will weaken because these are primarily driven by the heating of the day, 90s and 100-degree temperatures out west earlier today. And with temperatures cooling down, they'll maintain their strength for a certain amount of time, but it's only a matter of time where they start to really rain out. But as of right now, I'll stop the clock. Here's what radar is telling us. This is away from San Antonio. This is across the Rio Grande, Maverick County, Valverde County, Del Rio, Eagle Pass. And this is where we're seeing where the radar is picking up. Let me just make sure lightning tracker is on because I know this is creating a lot of lightning. I mean, this is a pretty powerful thunderstorm. So if you're if you're in Eagle Pass, if you look west in your western sky, you'll likely see a large thunderstorm just building up to 30 or 40,000 feet. As a matter of fact, let me see how tall it is. Just the amount of lightning this one storm is producing, out in our western counties, west of San Antonio. The amount of lightning just indicates how tall of an updraft it is and how powerful it's really going up into the atmosphere. So let's just slice this open. We can see how tall it is. It's up to 60,000 feet. That's pretty tall. That's a powerful thunderstorm. Remember, heating of the day. 90s earlier this afternoon plus some upper level support is going to create a pretty strong thunderstorm in northern Mexico, and some of this will cross over into our far western counties. Brackettville, Eagle Pass, Del Rio, Crystal City, Carrizo Springs, Uvalde, La Pryor, all on alert for this 1 to 2 cluster of storms that are forming in our far western region. In San Antonio, as you saw right there, it's quiet. There's some more moderate rain out to the south near the coastal Bend, Corpus Christi area, between Hebbronville, Laredo, Jim Wells County, Nueces County, San Pat County. That's where they're seeing a little bit more rain moving in the direction. So if you are traveling to Corpus Christi tonight, that's where the weather is going to be a little bit more active for our specific viewing area for San Antonio. And especially in our western area, we're more concerned with our western counties between Rock Springs, Valverde County, Maverick County, Frio County, towards Crystal City and I-35 because of the breeding ground of thunderstorms that are farther west, and they'll start to move farther east later on tonight. Now, I'll show you the forecast model in just a little bit, but it looks like most of this storm activity will likely start to back off, I would say probably around the 9 o'clock hour. But we'll keep a close eye on it just in case it starts to move near San Antonio. But I do expect a lot of this to weaken, despite it being very strong at the moment. With nighttime cooling, a lot of this will start to rain out on approach to Hondo, Uvalde, Cotulla, I-35, and towards the hill country. But our far western counties likely going to see some of this move in their direction. So pretty good rain and lightning associated with this. Before I get to the forecast, I want to see what kind of hail this is producing. So again, San Antonio, it's dry right now if you're just joining us. We're expecting a dry evening this evening for the next couple hours, but if you're in our western counties between Medina County and Valverde County and Maverick County, I'd be just watching this cell and make sure you watch your radar because some of this will move towards the east, towards Uvalde and towards I-35. However, again, a lot of this will start to weaken on approach. Let me just make sure. Nothing severe at the moment, but it's closing in on the border towards Eagle Pass and Del Rio. Let me use a different radar, a little different data set. Nothing severe, but you know, on this particular color table, you can see where the pinks are really popping out, which is indicative of more of a hail threat. But again, San Antonio, it's quiet. Some light rain out near Campwood, a lot of lightning out near Eagle Pass, Highway 277 in Del Rio. Let's convert to the hail tracker. You can see there is a hail core within that thunderstorm producing up to quarter-size hail, nowhere near San Antonio. And if this is going to move into anywhere, it's going to be between Del Rio and Eagle Pass in the next hour or so, probably by about 8:15 to 8:45. It's knocking on the doorstep of Eagle Pass and Del Rio. Mostly it's south of Del Rio, based on what I'm seeing. But these storms have the tendency to drift farther northeast, just based on what the mean upper level flow is doing at this point in time. So we'll go back to radar in just a moment. But again, San Antonio, if you're just joining us, we're dry for the rest of the evening. By about 9 and 10 p.m., we'll have a better idea of how these storms are moving. But I do think by about that time, a lot of it will be raining out. The main threat for storm activity is in our western counties between Hondo, Uvalde, La Pryor, Eagle Pass, and Del Rio for later on this evening. And right now it's 80 degrees. It's mostly cloudy. It's dry into the city in San Antonio and around the metro. Rain totals have varied between yesterday and now. So the 48-hour rain estimates have been between 1/10 of an inch to maybe 1/2 an inch. Let me rewind it back. So these are the weekend rain estimates. I'll get the official totals for the 10 o'clock show tonight. But see, these are some of the estimates from 1/2 an inch in some pockets near Lavernia, Seguin, to near a quarter from the northwest side of San Antonio towards SeaWorld and near Somerset. All mostly similar numbers in rain estimates across Bexar County. But it's really been focused southeast from Floresville to Kennedy to Cuero, Victoria, Beeville, Carn cities, where rain radar is estimating at least up to 4 to 6 inches in some of those pockets out near Cuero and near Gonzales and south of I-10 as well. So that's been the rain estimate for the last 48 hours. Pretty good. That's just great news for the drought. The southeastern viewing area has really improved. San Antonio has improved vastly. However, we're still in lingering drought. But it looks like this next week will put at least some sort of dent because forecast rain totals are very impressive through next Sunday. Meantime, current temperatures 82 at Carrizo Springs, 73 at Bernie. We have 80 at Beeville and 70s across the board. And because of cloud cover and so much moisture content in our atmosphere, we're not going to really cool down overnight. By tomorrow morning, we'll likely just remain in the lower 70s, and that's about it. Cloudy and dry by 9:30. We'll keep an eye on the radar. Some of our western counties could be under the threat for a few storms, but again, some of that activity is really going to weaken by about 9 p.m. tonight, but we'll watch it very closely. Meantime, for tomorrow, cloudy at first, sunny in the afternoon. Highs will be near 90 tomorrow for your Monday. It's going to be a gray start, but a sunny finish, and it's going to be very hot tomorrow. Some forecast models are painting out like 94 tomorrow, so it's going to be humid, it's going to be hot, it's going to be sunny. It's going to be a very summer-like day tomorrow to kick off the new week. But by late tomorrow night, that's when we're expecting another round of some of these storms. Now, so here's the forecast model we were talking about earlier. So if you're just joining us, there are a few storms west of the Rio Grande that should be moving into Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Carrizo Springs, probably in the next hour or two. But most of it is going to remain out west. Now, let me just kind of compare in forecast models. Let me compare and contrast. So this is the HRRR, one of like many high-resolution forecast models we have. So that's the HRRR. Let me just see what the IBM is doing. See, it's overdoing it. It's saying there's storms out in Carrizo Springs right now, but there's not. So I would not trust that model. I'll go out west. A little bit better. It's not picking up on the storm west of Eagle Pass. There is some activity west of Del Rio. So if I were to go with any of the models, it would be the first one we just showed on the screen. Little tricky on placement. It's not exact, but it's doing a decent job at handling the storms that are out there right now. So fast forwarding into 8:30, 9 p.m., you'll see between Cotulla, Pearsall, Carrizo Springs, Uvalde, and Del Rio, and Eagle Pass, likely the main threat for a few storms tonight through about 9 and 10 p.m. But watch what happens. Temperatures cool down. We lose some support. There'll be a few lingering storms southwest of the city through about 11 p.m., but that's about it. One or two may try and drift towards San Antonio, but I do think by and large, most of them should remain south of the area. And we're fast forwarding into tomorrow morning, 5, 6, 7 a.m. as you get your morning started. Lower 70s, cloudy skies, maybe a sprinkle or two. Nothing concerned by tomorrow morning. And then by lunchtime, skies clear. Highs will be in the 90s, even near 93 to 94 based on this one forecast model. I do think we'll be about 91 in the city. And then notice tomorrow night, 5, 6, 7 p.m., it's going to get active once again out across the border, northern Mexico, between Del Rio and Eagle Pass, where some of these storms are going to get going once again. This is tomorrow night, 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and probably one or two clusters of storms are going to develop out west and then move farther east late tomorrow night into early Tuesday. So it's going to be a busy overnight tonight, mainly southwest of the city, and then also busy tomorrow night into early Tuesday. And it's a very similar pattern as we fast forward to Tuesday morning, kind of an on and off rain event, scattered showers expected for Tuesday. So tomorrow, mostly dry, sunny skies, highs in the 90s, and then Tuesday, things start to get a little active. And that'll kickstart a pretty active forecast going forward. So just one more time, if you have any plans outdoors tomorrow, if it's your day off, if you have a party, whatever, tomorrow near 90 to 91 in the city, morning clouds, afternoon sunshine, and the storms should hold off until late tomorrow night. Grace, well, storms out west moving towards San Antonio. I think most of them that are out there right now, Grace, should remain out across the southwest. So you can see this is radar. Let me convert to the sweeping radar. You can see zooming in, there is a sprinkle out near I-35 near Schertz, but otherwise dry in the city. Some light rain mostly across the west. And let me put this loop on. Storms that are forming out west should remain between our western counties. So we'll watch it very closely through the next couple hours. But it looks like between Crystal City, Cotulla, Eagle Pass, and Del Rio and Uvalde, likely the main threat for a few storms later on tonight. But we'll watch it very closely. Forecast guidance on all high-resolution models are not keen on the idea of any of these making it to San Antonio just because of what's going on. They'll probably rain themselves out first before even passing Highway 57. But we'll watch them very closely. And there is a small chance that they do make it near the area, but most of them should rain out by the time they make it towards Crystal City, Uvalde, and towards Hondo and Medina County. But we'll watch them very closely. Most of the rain south of San Antonio towards Corpus Christi, the Rio Grande Valley, McAllen, Laredo, Duval County, Brooks County, Jim Hogg County, towards Kennedy County as well. That's where more of the rain's widespread at this point in time. But San Antonio kind of in between systems, you can see it's very active north, west, and south of the city. And a lot of the rain that formed earlier today has come to an end. And we'll watch the radar in the next couple hours, but it looks like most of the rain and storms should be west of the city. All right, so we already had 3 inches of rain in Cuero. Wondering if we're going to get some more. Laura, yeah, I mean, anywhere southeast of San Antonio saw a lot of rain. As a matter of fact, between Cuero, look at that. So, Laura, you mentioned you picked up 3 inches of rain. Some of the rain estimates south of Cuero, between there and Highway 183 in Victoria and Beeville. Radar is estimating 5 to 6 inches of rain. But inside Cuero, the fact that you picked up 3 is probably very accurate. But anywhere south, in a few of those pockets of very heavy rain, some of those storms produced 5 to 6 inches of rain in a very short amount of time. And remember, these are the weekend rain estimates, not just today, but it's also adding in yesterday's rain as well. You're welcome, Grace. Hope you're having a wonderful night. Yeah, good. It's safe to go down to downtown San Antonio. Yeah, so it's quiet in here. It's quiet in Lytle. Bring on the rain. Yeah, we need some more rain. How's the weather looking for the weekend in Uvalde? So I would say for next weekend, guys, between probably about Tuesday and next weekend, so this entire 7-day forecast is looking very wet, very active, and a little stormy. So we'll chat about that in just a second. So 78 degrees outside. We showed you the outlook for tomorrow. It's going to be hot. And the storms that I'll show you the futurecast graphic again. But tomorrow's forecast, 90 degrees, morning clouds, some sunshine, and then some of those storms. So you saw that right there. So this is a forecast model. Probably the best one that's handling the storms right now. A lot of rain, a lot of storms out near Del Rio, Eagle Pass. But watch how we progress this through 9 o'clock. We lose kind of the heating of the day, and there is some support. We have some humidity in place, some upper level energy, but it looks like most of it will start to come to an end by about late tonight, 11, 12 o'clock. But you'll see most of it stays south and west of San Antonio. There's a small chance it drifts farther east, however, but you can see most of it just staying away from us. So we'll keep an eye on it. Tomorrow morning, cloudy skies, lower 70s. We'll fast forward to tomorrow. Skies clear, sunny, highs in the 90s. Tomorrow night, a very similar setup. Storms develop out west, and they'll move farther east late Monday night into early Tuesday. And we're kind of locked in this pattern. Watch what happens. We have a low out west that'll start to deepen and really establish a locked-in blocking pattern where it's just sunny and likely very warm out east, and a lot more active between Louisiana, Texas, and Arizona and New Mexico, kind of in this general area of that southwesterly flow in the upper level. Winds are coming in from the Pacific, from the southwest, from the Baja Peninsula, and what that's doing is it's dragging in a lot of moisture aloft in the form of cloud cover, and embedded are these little weak upper level short waves, these upper level disturbances, and what that's going to do is just create on and off shower storm chances between now and likely next weekend. So a lot of folks are asking, what's the weather going to be like next weekend? It's likely going to be very unsettled, and you'll see between now and next weekend, the rain's just going to add up. And this is just a forecast, but between now and next Sunday, upwards of 5 to 6 inches of rain is going to be possible between the hill country, San Antonio, and the southeast and towards the coastal bend. And you'll see on the left side of the graphic, tomorrow's forecast for rain pretty much near zero. Late tomorrow night, that's when it increases. And then we're looking at scattered activity Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Likely increasing the chances for rain by next weekend. So based on what forecast models are telling us, it looks like it's going to be a very wet pattern. And remember, based on averages and numbers, May is the wettest month of the year in San Antonio, and for most areas across the South. It's because it's the last full month of spring, and it usually yields a lot of rainfall. Typical May average in San Antonio is like 4 to 5 inches of rain. That's just average. And depending on how it sets up, we could see more or a little less, but it looks like between now and next Sunday, it's going to be very active on and off at night, and then on and off during the day. Just kind of waves of rain, waves of storms definitely possible over the next 7. So that's the forecast. Rain for Kerrville, Maria asked. Let's check that real quick. Is there rain in Kerrville? I don't think so. You know, I was checking the radar for the entire area, and I'll stop the clock right here. There's some sprinkles out east towards Gonzales. There is a little bit of light rain, not so much in Kerrville at the moment, and a lot of this is just the upper level moisture. So I don't necessarily think this is measurable rain, but I would say between now and likely 9:30, Maria, there will be some light rain that moves into Kerrville, but in terms of storms for the hill country tonight, I think you're good to go. Other than a light sprinkle, maybe a light shower at best, most of the hill country should remain dry tonight. It's really out west towards Del Rio and Eagle Pass. We're expecting more of the storms to remain through about 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. as well. And there is a small chance that some of this drifts farther east, but it looks like based on forecast guidance from what we looked at earlier, a lot of it should rain out for the next couple hours. But heads up for Eagle Pass, anywhere between there, La Pryor, Crystal City, Asherton, Uvalde, Del Rio. I would say this particular area where I'm zooming in has to watch these storms as they drift farther east. They should remain across the border. But these cells are producing heavy rain, lightning, thunder, and some small to large hail in the deep core of the thunderstorm. And right now, that specifically is away from everybody. It's right here where that pink color is popping up. This is in northern Mexico, west of Eagle Pass. This particular pink area, that's indicating up to about quarter-size hail in a very rural area outside of Eagle Pass. But we'll see if that holds, because a lot of these storms, they'll build up to 50 to 60,000 feet, and then they'll rain themselves out and almost collapse. Now, forecast models are saying that some of this will start to move farther into Eagle Pass in Maverick County through about 8, 9 p.m. or so. But it should remain in our western counties. We'll keep an eye on it very closely for the next couple hours, but right now it's our far western region that's under the threat for some of these storms. All right, so we'll end on the 7-day forecast. Right now, of course, you're welcome. Greetings from Elmendorf. Erica, yeah, Elmendorf. Man, I need to put that on the map because, so I've had a lot of questions from a lot of viewers, and you know, San Antonio, obviously the big city, but we also have a metro view. I need to add Elmendorf to the map because a lot of folks, a lot of viewers live in that area. Because let me just pull it out. The current conditions. We have a temperature graphic that just shows the metro. And Elmendorf is not on that. Because there's a lot of, you know, in our metro, there's Helotes, there's Somerset, there's Von Ormy, there's Elmendorf. There's a lot of different regions like Schertz. I mean, they do pop up on our radar, you know, when we zoom into different communities across the area, but we need to add some more communities to our temperature maps just to have everybody included. But of course, have a wonderful night, guys. I'll be on here for a little longer. Keep an eye on those storms out west. San Antonio should remain dry for tonight, but we're going to be watching those storms out west, depending on how they track and how they move, and depending on how they really just kind of interact with the atmosphere will tell us more about how far they move east in the next couple hours. But again, most of our western counties are under the threat for those and not so much San Antonio. All right, let's see if this updates. Of course, Grace. Yeah, I'm here to help. I am here to help. I'm waiting for my weather graphics to load, so give me a second. Hi, Ryan from the northwest side. We need more rain. Yeah. So the north side of San Antonio, when you compare that to the south side of San Antonio, it's a lot different. And what I mean by that is it's the drought. Like between northern San Antonio towards the hill country, it's still pretty bad. It's extreme to exceptional. But the south side of Bexar County towards the southeast, it's really improved. It's almost like they've gotten more rain compared to the north and northwest side of San Antonio. So it just depends on where you're at, where your neighborhood is, where your house is. It varies a lot when regarding rain accumulation and just how storms and how showers set up. Man, my show is not updating. So I might have to call it a day, guys. I would like to end it off on the 7-day, but I don't think this is working. Let me just see what happens. Let's see. I have to do this. So my screen went black for a second. Give me a second as things update. But yeah, if you have any questions, guys, feel free to comment down below. Aside from some of the storms out west, Diana says Crystal City. Yeah, so I would say if you're between Crystal City, La Pryor, Del Rio, Eagle Pass, those are the cities out west that are most concerned with some of the storms tonight. Not much San Antonio, but we'll watch them very closely. Okay, so my show just updated. I will do one last look at radar, and then we'll end off on the 7-day, and we'll go from there. Hello from Somerset, Gilbert. I have some family in the area, south and southwest side of San Antonio. Hope you're having a wonderful night, guys. Is Hondo getting rain? Will it rain tomorrow? So most of tomorrow is dry. It's morning clouds, and then the sun will come out. Highs will be in the 90s. It'll be pretty hot tomorrow, like almost middle 90s tomorrow afternoon. But the rain moves in late tomorrow night. So probably around 10, 11 p.m. towards midnight, late tomorrow night is when our next rain starts to move into San Antonio specifically, into the region, into the metro. So to the south, that's where more light rain's materializing. But of course, we've been talking about some of the storms out west. This is most likely just clouds and clutter. There may be some light rain out near Camp Wood, Rock Springs, Bandera, Kerrville, Brackettville. But most of the storm activity is right here, and you'll see as I put this into motion, these are the last 3 hours. Let's minimize this and create the last 45 minutes. There we go. So again, heads up for Del Rio, anywhere between there, Highway 277, Brackettville, Eagle Pass, anywhere in this area between Maverick County and Valverde County. We're watching very closely just because of this storm activity. If you're in Eagle Pass and you look west, you'll see that tall thunderstorm cloud, the cumulonimbus cloud, really high because we just sliced open the storm on radar, and it's up to 60,000 feet. So if you look west in Eagle Pass, or even from La Pryor, from Carrizo Springs, from Uvalde, from Crystal City, if you look west, it's probably too dark now. Sunset's around 8:15. You may be able to see it. If you look west, you'll probably see a very large storm, a large cloud structure, and that's that storm out in northern Mexico. Not expecting it to make it near San Antonio, but if you're watching in this region from Brackettville to Eagle Pass to Asherton to Crystal City, some of this will drift in your direction. Most of it should rain out by the 10 o'clock hour. We'll watch it hour by hour here at KENS 5. But aside from that, light to moderate rain moving into Corpus Christi. You can see out towards Robstown, Sinton, Mathis, Calallen, Rockport, Refugio, George West, and Beeville. That's where it's a little bit more active at this point in time. But again, San Antonio and most of the metro, it is quiet on this Sunday night. Of course, Diana, anything for Pearsall? Nothing right now, Pearsall. Again, if you're in Pearsall or anywhere along the I-35 corridor southwest of San Antonio, we're going to watch this particular cluster of storms very closely. However, based on forecast model guidance, which I'll show you right here, a lot of it kind of decays in strength. You can see 9 o'clock tonight, 10 p.m. tonight, fast forwarding into 11. It's mainly between Pearsall, Carrizo Springs, Eagle Pass, where the potential is the greatest for a few storms, but most of it should stay along the Rio Grande through the late night hours, and then maybe a lingering shower by midnight, but otherwise it's quiet through tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, after lunchtime, it clears to sunshine. Highs will be in the 90s. It'll be hot. And then after late tomorrow night, that's when more storms develop out west between Eagle Pass, Carrizo Springs, Pearsall, and then late Monday night into early Tuesday morning, watch a few more storms develop. So it's a very active pattern going forward. As a matter of fact, we'll end off on this right here. The 7-day shows a lot of rain between now, and you can see, so there's day chances for rain and there's night chances for rain. Tonight, 30%, some of those storms drift farther towards San Antonio, but mostly southwest of the city and southwest of San Antonio. Late tomorrow night, another chance for storms, scattered activity Tuesday, same thing Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then between Thursday and next Sunday, it continues to remain active, and a lot of shower and storm chances with highs cooling down because of more cloud cover in the 80s, where average is about 84 this time of year. But we're good tonight, guys. Yeah, San Antonio is good tonight, but if you're watching from our southwestern region between Pearsall, Crystal City, Carrizo Springs, Del Rio, Eagle Pass, if you're in any of those cities that I just named right now, southwest of San Antonio. A better chance for storms out there, not so much in the city. Tomorrow we'll start off with clouds. It'll be sunny, highs in the 90s with more rain on the way for the area.